Hi guys, thanks for hanging out. The new moon was yesterday, the new moon in Virgo. That is kicking off this next eclipse season that kind of formally begins with the eclipse on September 17th, and then we have a second solar eclipse happening on October the 2nd, and that actually is Rosh Hashanah, and it's going to kick off the 10-day period between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. So we are in a really interesting situation right now, but today I wanted to talk about the fixed star that is at the epicenter of this new moon that just happened. Remember that whenever there's a moon situation, people feel it the 3 days before and the 3 days after. Okay, so we felt the new moon leading up the 3 days before it took place yesterday. And now we're going to feel the effects of it for 3 days after. So we're still in this new moon energy, and we will be for a little longer yet, and we still have lessons to learn from it as we build up into this eclipse series, this eclipse season. Okay, this is the star chart of the new moon that happened yesterday. This is the key part that has the fixed star that I want to talk about. What does it mean to be a fixed star? It means that we're talking about a star that really doesn't move. I mean, like, all the stars are kind of moving, but from our perspective and in the context of our human lifespans, it is moving so slowly that basically we can trust it sticks around at 11 degrees of Virgo. This new moon is taking place at 11 degrees of Virgo, which happens to be the exact same place in the sky where the star ZOSMA is. Okay, ZOSMA, that's how you spell it. I'm assuming it's an Arabic name because many of these fixed stars have Arabic names. But when I saw this new moon and was thinking about the context of this eclipse that we find ourselves in as we head into this eclipse season, I thought, I bet there's a fixed star there, and I bet it has a message for us. And I was right. The fixed star ZOSMA is famous for drawing attention to disgrace, selfishness, egotism, immorality, meanness, melancholy, and unhappiness of mind, and fear of poison. It gives an unreasonable, shameless, and egotistical nature. Okay, it has a reputation for giving an alert mind, but also an inclination to basically depression. Okay, and this is an interesting placement for all of us to be thinking about as we think about the messages of this eclipse cycle that we just had in April, where we're being called to repent. We're being called to look within and see what is wrong inside of ourselves that we need to change. We're taking personal responsibility for what we are bringing to the table in our own lives. You know, we get to sit back and instead of feeling victimized by our circumstances, we get to say, wait a minute, how are my circumstances a reflection of me? What do I need to change within myself? And here we have this little hint. We have a little hint that in the next 2 weeks, it's going to be a really good idea to dig into where we are disgraceful, okay? Where we are out of alignment with divine grace. Where are we not accepting God's grace for ourselves? Where are we not offering God's grace for other people? Okay, where are we not showing graciousness in our behavior towards ourselves or towards others? Okay, where are we selfish? Where are we fixated on our own issues to the exclusion of the very real problems that other people face? You know, where are we a little self-absorbed and we need to get out of that and focus on other people and on the other things that are impacting the world right now? We get to take a look at where are we egoistic? You know, where are we egotistical, and where do we need to maybe let go of some of that? Where have we been immoral? You know, and in the context of immorality, of course, everybody has like their own moral codes and everything like that. My biggest thing with that is that we need to be connecting with our creator and making sure that we're living in alignment with natural law. That's my own opinion, but you know, it's our job this week and then in the next 2 weeks to sit down and say, okay, is my own moral code in alignment with divine law and with natural law or not? And we can ask our creator for additional insight on where do I need to think about things in my life a little bit differently? You know, where might I have it wrong? Meanness is a theme of this star. Where are we just plain old mean, you know? Uh, where are we just mean people? and why are we mean? Okay, a lot of our meanness actually comes from unresolved trauma, which is what my own work is really all about, is trying to help people resolve these unresolved issues so that we can heal from them and become less mean people. This is my main website, allyduzetclasses.com. And on this website, you will find dozens and dozens of sessions that help you clear out your past emotional trauma. So like this betrayal session right here, a lot of times people are mean because they have really good reasons to be mean. They have been betrayed, and clearing that out is going to help clear out that meanness. Maybe they had a traumatic birth, and on some level, their body and their spirit never got over it. Healing from that is going to make a big difference in how you show up in the world around you. There are so many things like that. If you have brain issues, if you have boundary issues, I just passed the boundaries one. This one is free. So no excuses, just do it. But we have childhood trauma we're dealing with. Okay, we're having chronic fatigue. It's so hard to be kind when you're incredibly tired. It's so hard to be kind when you're in chronic pain. So actually digging into these different things, these different aspects of ourselves where we haven't yet completed healing our unresolved stuff from the past, that's going to really help us in the context of this star weather that we're dealing with right now. In my opinion, we owe it to ourselves and to the people around us to do what we can to get ourselves out of that ZOSMA space of the selfishness, the egotisticalness, the pride, feeling like we have it all figured out. We don't. It's never fun to be shown that we're wrong, but I do know that if we can choose to be humble enough to ask God where we are wrong, God can show it to us in a way that is gentle enough that we can handle it. Even the most humble among us, I think, still prefer to be right. I think that's the human default setting. We just would prefer to be right. But one of the big messages of this transit right now is to be open to being wrong. And if you can be humble and open to learning where you're wrong in a gentle way, you won't have to figure it out the hard way. That is always the worst way to figure something out, is the hard way. One thing I would recommend today, if you have the time, make the time. It's me telling you, just do it. Just do it. It's going to be worth it. Get out your spiral notebook and just spend a few minutes. It doesn't have to take forever. It could take you 10 minutes to write down, Heavenly Father, Creator, God, please help me to have the humility to be open to where I'm wrong in my life. But God, will you please tell me one thing that I'm wrong about right now? What do I need to change right now in my life? And then skip a line and write down whatever comes into your mind. And then when you're done with that, then you pray about what you got and ask if you got it accurately, and just kind of feel your feelings and see if you feel like that was a true answer from our Creator. But we have this really interesting window where we have a lot of support to experience that humility and experience those shifts that we need to experience to take our next steps forward in our lives. And this is going to be really critical. I think that probably the number one thing that's going to get us through, we have faith and we have humility. We have to be open to being like desperately wrong about things and not take it personally, and just realize that like this is the human default setting. The human default setting is to be wrong about almost everything, almost all the time. If we can handle being wrong with grace, it's going to make our lives a lot easier. And if we can be open to what is right with grace, even if it disagrees with our personal feelings or our personal traumas or our personal experiences, it's going to make our lives a lot easier. There are a lot of really uncomfortable truths in this world that are true, at least in my understanding, they're true, but I don't like them, and I think that the more open we are to truth, the more open we have to be to being really uncomfortable with some stuff that we wish that we didn't know, stuff that we wish we hadn't seen. But that's the only way forward. It's the only way forward where we're in alignment with our Creator, So anyway, all of that is to say, you have your homework assignment. I hope you go into it. Coming out on Facebook, Intuitive Healing with Ally Duzet. Only the highest quality humans are in there, so you should come and join us. We're very fun in there, and we talk about everything interesting, and everyone is very kind, and if they're not, they're removed. So I've only had to do that like one time, but it was recent. So I'm like, it's fresh on the mind. Be kind, everybody. Okay, you have your homework. I'll put some links below to stuff that I think will be helpful today. I'm still thinking about how I can support myself and all of us. I just bring you along on my own personal journey. That's like the real secret. But I'm still figuring out how to make the best of this transit, but we'll keep in touch, and thanks for being here. See you later.